Journeys is recorded at Doghouse Studios. Keep the conversation going on Instagram at JourneysAvec Chad Jones. Remember, if you like the content, share the content. Welcome back to Journeys. Today is Saturday, August 21st, and I am Chad Jones. How are you doing today? Have you guys been into the last few episodes? I hope so. Just because they've been interesting. And I keep saying interesting. They've been wild. So a couple days ago, we released an episode with Andrew LeBlanc Demars. I keep saying Demars, and it's like he's a Demars bar, and that's not funny. I'm sorry, Andrew. But Demars. And yeah, he opened up so much. I really like learning about him. He's such a fascinating dude, and I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the guest episode, because I think they're my favorite. I like talking. I like hearing my own voice to an extent. And I'm sure you guys do. You follow me. You listen. But the guest episodes are where it's at. And just for you guys, for you to know, those are going to now be Thursdays and Sundays. If anybody wants to be on Journeys to help me get guests on Thursdays and Sundays, or if you know a friend that just needs to talk, a sibling, whomever, I would love to have, obviously with COVID in place, we got to be a little careful, but I would love to have people on just to talk, explore their journeys, because that's what this is really about. Speaking of the journey, yesterday's episode, I don't know if I need to apologize or not, but I feel like I do. It was a very rushed episode, and I can tell in the quality, just because I really wanted to get taken out there. And I'm glad I got it out. I wish I had spent more time and I had a week to make it, not 5 hours. But it was incredible that I could record and produce something in that much time, even if it wasn't the highest quality. But yeah, it was an interesting process getting it onto the page and out for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it. But what else happened? Oh, Paw Patrol will be there on the double. Yes, so we went to the drive-in last night with our son, and we watched the Paw Patrol movie. And we've been hyping it up. It's been super exciting. I would put it in the same category as like an Illumination movie, which is unfortunate. It was definitely not on the Pixar level of quality. It definitely wasn't on the Lego movie, or there's no subversions. There was nothing that I didn't feel coming. Like, I don't know. I could go on. Here's my little review of the Paw Patrol movie. I am a 28-year-old man with a kid, and a huge investment in this franchise because of all the money we spent, and they addressed that. But it's funny. It just kind of felt like I've seen everything before in better context. And Annette had said the same thing. She's like, oh, there's a point where they start stealing all the dogs. Well, this is 101 Dalmatians. Like, we've seen this. Or Lady and the Tramp, where they go to the pound. There was a weather machine that, caused the weather to go nuts. And I'm like, that's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. But they did it better. Like, everything I've seen, I've just seen it in a better context, and that was kind of like disappointing. I thought they would come up with something, and I get it. It's the Paw Patrol. You have to have rescues. You have to have opportunity for them to save people. But I don't know, it just felt so disjointed, and like the one thing that kind of connected it was something I'd already seen in a movie. And there's a lot of questions like they suggest that that Mayor Humdinger, one of the main antagonists, like did something to rig the election, but I mean, there was never really anything that happened. They're like, the leading candidate has suddenly dropped out mysteriously, and now the other candidate, who is running unopposed, automatically wins. And I was like, oh, is that how that works? I mean, I guess. And then they like cut to him like being like, nah, we did something evil. And I was like, okay, that's it. I don't know. I'm super disappointed. Is it possible for me to be disappointed by a kids movie? I feel like Annette and I, in our heads, were like so excited about the 20th of August once we found out the Paw Patrol movie was coming. But I mean, the production of it is great. When you are in the movie, the sound design is wonderful. The voice acting is well done. Some of the jokes are funny. Some of the jokes are not funny. Like, I don't know, they moved to Adventure City from Adventure Bay, and they suddenly have a huge building that like is perfectly that takes up a big part of the city that is already ready to go for them. And I was like, oh, like, has there been time? And it turns out that it just happened within a day. So I guess it already existed, or man, I just sound like movie reviews. I just sound like such a cynic. And they make the joke, they're like, how are we paying for this? And Ryder's like, with merchandise. And that was probably the only audible laugh I had the whole movie, other than maybe a couple of rebel scenes. And that is something that I think I really enjoyed. Was Rebel was really good. Yeah, I mean, they tried to give Chase an emotional backstory, and I was like, I don't care. I don't really care about this relationship between Chase and Ryder. It just felt shoehorned in. And then they have this, and this is a thing that I've had with the other season, where they try to make like a main character out of the Paw Patrol that isn't Chase. And they have this new little Dachshund Liberty, and I thought she was going to be annoying. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be like this annoying, over the top New York style dog. And she was cute, and I liked her. I just still didn't like the idea that it was like a main character in Paw Patrol. I don't know what I was expecting from the movie. Maybe I was expecting more of like a well, my sister-in-law pretty much said Paw Patrol is Power Rangers for a new generation. And I was kind of expecting like the first Power Rangers movie, where there's like this big problem they have to solve, and they have to like train and montage for it. And I don't know. I did not get it. And unfortunately, it's another movie that if you watch the trailer, you pretty much get everything. So now I've rambled about Paw Patrol and my disappointment. Yeah, that was a very, like, am I going to watch it again? Of course I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it 100 times. I have a kid. I have Liam. Liam loves Paw Patrol. And Logan. And he's going to love Paw Patrol. Sorry. Jeez, I got hiccups. Yeah. I also wanted to kind of say, like, today is a return to format. I haven't really done, like, a Journeys episode since Wednesday, because I edited the episode Thursday morning for Andrew. Yesterday was all about making Taken. So today is just a return to format. I just want to get talking and journaling and whatnot, and I'm glad I can get my emotions about Paw Patrol out of the way. It affected me so much. I had such high expectations. I was so excited, and I don't know. It just comes back to the dead dove scene in Arrested Development, where he opens the bag and he goes, I don't know what I was expecting. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about today. I have a focus on some things, and I know that I have family stuff, so fortunately for me, I get to spend some of that time with my Liam, my Annette, my Samson. It's supposed to rain today, so I'm hoping that maybe we can go for a little rainy drive, just to stay out of the house for a bit, but we'll see. Yeah. So we will take a little break, and I'll talk to you on the other side. Yeah, this weekend's gonna be tough. Um, luckily, not luckily, I guess, but some of my plans fell through. So that means I now have more time to do things that need to get done, whether that's choring, family, or this journeys. I am gonna put my nose to the grindstone because it's time for some hard work. And I mean, honestly, journeys itself isn't that difficult to produce. I mean, it's literally me talking for 20 minutes with a break in between, but I like doing it every day. It still motivates me. And even on days where I don't know what I'm going to talk about, it still motivates me to be like, hey, let's find it along the way. So, that's where I'm at with my weekend, and I'm excited. It's exciting to have some plans, but not be so busy that you don't have time to breathe, because that's kind of how last weekend went. For some reason, I wrote down, I was writing down what I wanted to talk about in the second half, and I wrote talent, and then I wrote smarts, like, being smart about it, but I wrote SMRT, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's something that always makes me smile, makes me think of Simpsons Hit and Run. That game was wonderful. Holy. If they made a remaster of Simpsons Hit and Run, I would just throw full money at it. I'd be like, full price game? I don't care. Bonus edition? I don't care. Behind the scenes stuff? I don't care. Just take my money. Shut up and take my money. I am so smart. SMRT. I mean SMART. Meanwhile, the whole house is on fire. That's sometimes how I feel about life. It's a good metaphor for life. I feel like I'm doing great. Meanwhile, everything is on fire. Yeah, so talent. I think that you can be a talented person, but without that hard work, you can only go so far. There's a very complicated saying I'm not even going to try to repeat about hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, but when talent works hard, watch out, I think is what it is. Oh, wow, that wasn't actually that bad. And I think that I have some talent, but I have more of a hard work drive, and that's kind of what's going to happen now. I have to do some behind the scenes stuff just to get the YouTube stuff going, but once I have the YouTube stuff going, that is where you're going to share it. And that's where you're going to hear it. The next episode of Journeys, where there's going to be a YouTube page, you'll hear it right away. And I'm excited for that. That's, it's going to bring a smile to my face. My next thing I want to talk about is getting help. Now, normally I would talk about getting help in the way of mental health, but this is more or less like getting help when it comes to your hobby and you're outside of yourself. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have hobbies that they're self-conscious about because they want to be good at it, but they're just not. They're still learning. It's new. You haven't just put in the time yet, and that's great. And I think when you think of getting help, maybe you don't think of getting help with your hobby. Like, you just don't really know how to approach someone or ask, like, hey, I'm picking up the guitar. How do I make this easier? It's a very intimidating thing. And you go to your friend who you look up to, and they're kind of like, they've never really taught anyone how to play guitar. And one thing that I've learned about teaching someone how to play guitar is that it has to be done slowly and fundamentally. It can't just be, here's this, go crazy. Now, there are certain things that make it easier. The biggest question a teacher can ask is, well, what do you want to learn how to do? So, and that goes with anything, any hobby, anything with getting help. I mean, the whole reason I said about getting help is I'm looking at, I want to record an album. For those of you who listened to yesterday's, Taken is part of it. And Ragdoll, if you've heard Ragdoll. I have enough material that I need help with everybody else. I need help filling it out because I'm at the point where I'm not good enough. I don't have the skills required to finish the album that I have in my head. So we'll see. And maybe you'll hear more about the Island project as we go along. But for now, that is secondary. It is montage time. Montage time! What I mean by that is, in a movie, you watch the montage and it happens in like 5 minutes with like, you're the best around. Nothing in the world will take you down. Something like that. And then you got like and they're like, you got someone doing bench presses and like lifting themselves, and you get that like little bit of failure where they're like, oh, I'm never gonna do it. Then 30 seconds later they've done it and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. I just feel great about myself. I'm in montage time. What does that mean? Well, it means I have to montage all the things I want to get better at to record an album. Perfect example. I haven't played drums since 2018. Not to the caliber that I was at. So if I want to record drums, well, looks like I'm going to have to practice every day just to like keep my body going, make sure I'm balanced. I don't need to be at the top of my game. I just need to be relaxed and able to play fluently. That's more or less what I'm looking for from myself. Same thing with the guitar. Not very, as you guys heard, a little sloppy at it. Got to clean that up, whether that's cleaning up my right hand, my left hand, what have you. It doesn't matter. Like, it's montage time. It means I have to practice that. And then my voice, scales and breathing exercises, all that stuff, lip rolls. Gotta practice. I have 3 instruments that I am willing to record for this album, and I have to get them all to a level that it makes it easier for whoever's editing it and mixing it down to play. Now, am I going to use auto-tune? 100% I will use auto-tune. There will not be a single note on this album that is not auto-tuned to some degree. Oh my god. Is it cheating? 100% it's cheating. Is it going to sound great? 100% it's going to sound great. Am I going to T-pain myself? No, I am not going to T-pain myself. However, I do want to be able to perform these songs at a level that I'm not embarrassed at showing people, and I'm not embarrassed at doing in front of an audience of 4 or 5 people. It is hard to be a vocalist. Holy, for you who have never sang in front of a microphone, especially in front of people. I don't sing in front of people often. Not without an instrument or without other things. For me, what it is like, I find it's harder because you are the instrument. If you sound bad, you can't just take a tuner to it and be like, oh, look, it was the instrument the whole time. Or, your voice or your mouth or whatever the case is, you're like, oh man, my teeth are singing poorly. That's it. It's my teeth. But yeah, it's an interesting, I keep saying interesting, and there's a lot of interesting things, but it is a very curious process in singing, because you kind of sing and you're like, oh my god, that was amazing. And then you hear it back and you're like, oh my god, never let me sing again. But you have to keep going because you want to get this musical expression out. And it's funny because you're fighting yourself the whole way. There's a push and pull, like, I'm so bad, I'm so good. There's like this ego thing, and you fall down and, you experiment. And a lot of the time you don't really, or at least me, I don't know what I'm getting out of the project until I'm done. And I'm like, okay, these vocals aren't horrible. They have things going on for them. There's a quality about them I like, but we shall see. And in talking about montage time, I'm very excited to be putting my efforts into something that I think needs my efforts. Oh, there's the outro music. We made it through another episode, everyone. Yay! So for Saturday, August 21st, I'm Chad Jones, and I will talk to you on another time.